All right, we are live for the Thursday edition of the Morning Check-In. And as always, looking forward to connecting, sharing my 2 cents on a variety of subject matter, and of course, checking in with you guys to find out what you're keeping your eyes on. So as always, let me know thoughts, ideas, suggestions, drop them in the comment section or in the chat, depending on where you're watching at. And as always, it's going to be a good day to say the least. Sun is shining, the king is on the throne, and what else can we ask for, people? But today, I want to talk about this sudden euphoria and excitement for states and technology companies and our government to issue a stable coin as if they're rushing to something. Why are they fast tracking this stable coin narrative? So clearly something is brewing, or they're trying to get ahead of something. And it could have a lot to do with the economic indicators that are continue to flash red signals of all kinds. And so we're going to touch on that and a couple other things. But before I move forward, let me acknowledge everybody. Definitely let me know where you're watching from. Hit that thumbs up button, check mark wherever you're watching at, so that I know that you know that we all on the same page here. Because outside of all the noise and distractions, there's more than enough stuff to keep our attention glued towards this or that. But just focus on the reset and all the intricate details that they need to accomplish in order to pull this off. And it starts at the center of our monetary system. So anyway, it's going to be a good day, man. Let me make sure I'm flowing smoothly on my end here. Make sure my audio is coming in good. Then we won't jump into it. Give you some good news, which is the best way to start your day with my daily devotional or just the word in general. And then we'll get into some resources, some market activity. Looks like gold and silver is indicating something as well. And then we'll get into a lot of articles from the rtd.news webpage that I put together for you guys. So if you haven't, scroll down beneath this video here, click the link, and you'll get a chance to plug in throughout the day so you can always find out what's happening in the news, variety of subject matter, not just solely focused on monetary system. But let's jump into it, man. I'm going to get into the good news, and then we'll keep it moving. All right, here is the good news for the day. It says, when the sun comes, that's S-O-N, and it says here, let me zoom in, zoom out so I can see what I see. Give me a second. Let me move this over here so you can read it along with me. All right, so it says here, March 27th. When the sun comes, it won't be quiet. It won't be hidden. It will be glory revealed. Jesus said, when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. Think about that for all my believers. That is the peak of our faith, the opportunity to rule and reign with the King of Kings when he sits on the throne of his glory. Matthew 25:31. Then it says, this is not the Lamb riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. This is the King returning with angels wrapped in glory, ready to reign. The prophets saw this day, and Daniel said, we saw one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds, and to him was given a kingdom that will never be destroyed. Jesus is that son. This moment isn't just about separating the sheep from the goats. It's about the arrival of divine order, which clearly the world needs. We have a governance crisis globally, so we need divine order. It says the king takes his throne, justice is executed, the kingdom is revealed. So when the son comes, will you know him? Will he know you? Live like the kingdom is real, because it is, and the king is coming. Say la. For all my people out there who want to receive that this morning, stand on that. Let me get an amen in the chat. I do appreciate and acknowledge those people who do put the amen in the chat. Just a way to charge you up spiritually, get you excited, to get your attention focused on the more important things before we jump into all the noise, as I like to call it. And so it's going to be a good one, man. Okay. So bear with me here. Let me keep it moving, keep it moving. All right. So before I move forward, resources. All this activity as well as events that's unfolding does very little good if you are not positioned as well as you can moving ahead. And it has everything to do with allocating everything that you work hard for that's in the current legacy system, that 60-40 investment portfolio strategy that we've been forced to do, which all, for most part, benefits the banking and the legacy TradFi system. There are some alternatives. And of course, beyond physical gold and silver that you possess within your own hands, there's ways of getting your old out and into the new. So on the screen here, as you can see, let me bring it up here. We have Colonials Metals Group, which are my partners that allow people to take advantage of opportunities to get physical gold and silver in a self-directed IRA where you can hold in your own possession in a vault, or you can have it in a depository not far from you. So if you're interested in finding out more, click the link beneath this video here. Let me bring it on the screen here, colonialsmetalsgroup.com/RTD, and it will allow you to get this information here, which is a PDF download where you can actually get more information about the program here. And then, of course, if you're interested in speaking with them directly, call 1-888-521-2448, and they will give you more information that you'll need and the importance of gold and silver in your possession via a alternative method for holding and protecting everything you worked hard for. So if you guys are interested, definitely check that out. And the next, I want to continue to remind people the most affordable, what I consider the most affordable gold that a person can have, where there's no excuses not to have some at the bare minimum. And so this is for all income levels, in my opinion, and it has to do with the gold notes, aka cash gold backs. And so as you can see on the very far end of the screen over here, the cheapest is a half a unit of a 24 karat gold polymer note. I have one right here, and I got this 3 or 4 years ago, and I paid well less than what it is now. So it has appreciated, nominally speaking, in dollar terms. So if you guys are interested in finding out more and getting a hold of some of these 24 karat gold notes, then go to buygoldnotes.com. Links in the description, and you can get yourself some of these. And it's just another way to diversify, in my personal opinion. And so got to make sure I have that disclaimer, in my opinion, because once again, I'm not licensed or authorized to give financial advice, but I can share monetary literacy, which basically, if you know where things have come, where we're at, and where things are going, you might want to get physical. And last, I want to continue to remind people of the opportunity to join the Silver Team. And so this is something that really excites me, because for those who are part of the community, they have benefited tremendously, being able to have their own bullion store as well as automate their weight monthly, sent to you. No ifs, ands, or doubts. No worry about the price. It just comes, so you ain't got to worry about it. So if you're interested in joining the Silver Team, then this is an opportunity for you to go to mysilverteam.com, click the link in the description, and you can get all the information you need. And more importantly, if you become a member, you can actually get your own store where you can share with family and friends and actually be able to earn off of these opportunities. And what I'm really starting to get into, for those who's been around for a while, is talking about other ways of diversifying beyond gold and silver. And of course, there's other metals as well. And one thing I like here, they just added, is the platinum 1 gram bars here, which at this current moment, platinum is at $1,000. And it's good to say, because of unlimited fiat, it's going to go higher. So being able to get a gram of platinum for $66 is not bad, given where it could go because of the amount of currency that will be created. So this is just an option for those who want to have their own store as well as be able to automate their weight. And then we have these 1 gram opportunities here, or 1 grain rather, where you get these packs here, 5 packs of 1/4 grain, 99 fine gold. So there's lots of options here. So if you guys are interested, just go to mysilverteam.com, join the community, be good. Okay. So with that being the case, let's get into some more activity, man. Right now, what appears to be interesting is let me get rid of some stuff here on my screen here. What appears to be interesting is the activity right now in the metal space. And so for some reason, without even me having to really know or be concerned, people are starting to make some moves. And so here we have gold and silver. Silver, $34.28. We haven't seen $34.28 in over a decade plus. So something is happening. This has a lot to do with that silver squeeze. The 31st of this month is the silver squeeze that a lot of people are talking about getting physical to put pressure on the bullion bank. So is this the start of it? We will see. But you better believe the more people find out about this squeeze, the more people will definitely put pressure on the bullion banks, and then they'll have to go out and do something. And more than likely, they're going to create, I can tell you what they're going to do. They're going to create 100+ million pieces of fraudulent paper contracts and then dump it on the market to bring it down just 35 cents. It'll be $33.50 or something like that. So this is how bad things can be when they get desperate. So once again, just sharing with you what's happening. Give me 1 second here. Let me make sure I am streaming okay, and then we're going to keep it moving. Make sure I am all eyes on deck here. And as always, for those who are plugged in, man, feel free to throw some thoughts, ideas, suggestions out there. I appreciate all that I can get from you guys as far as help to get this word out there, as well as to to be able to learn myself and be able to take this information and bring it to you in real time. Okay, so let me just move that around because I got to make sure I'm always flowing smoothly on my side here. Okay, without any delay, I can go into other things, but I want to get it right into the primary subject matter. Why is the government fast tracking the stable coin? And that's something that we're going to find out. But I got my suspicions as to why that is. And it has a lot to do with a particular article or subject matter of an article. And then also yesterday, lots of announcements that I'm sure flew under your radar in reference to the restructuring of the financial sector, aka the monetary system. And so Biden was hard pressed on using CBDCs. And of course, Trump has made it obvious, he made it clear that CBDCs will not be used because of people caught on, in my opinion. I believe the people caught on and realized that, hey, like, it'll be hard for people to buy in and accept CBDCs with having so much negative news and press because of alternative media. A lot of people talking about, we don't want centrally controlled currency. Okay, so they just pivoted. So stable coins is the new verbiage that's being used, and this administration behind it, as well as states and the fintech sector. And stable coins are just a rebranded version of central bank digital currencies, minus the source and minus the overlords of the ledger. But once again, it's digital nature, and it is trackable, traceable, and controllable by whoever issues it. They can whitelist your address at any time, and that's just the start. So it's good to say you incorporate that with AI. You have a perfect surveillance system to be able to see your activity in real time, because they can watch on the ledger and see where you're spending and what you're spending, type of technology, which is to come or already available. We just don't know about it yet. So that's just something that people should be somewhat aware of. Okay. And why are they fast tracking this? My suspicion is that it's becoming harder to continue to use a narrative of tariffs, and the idea of making America great again is all centered around tariffs. So there's tariffs every day. There's auto tariffs yesterday. There's aluminum tariffs. There's soon to be copper tariffs. There's, you name a tariff. Tariffs on China. There's tariffs on wheat. There's tariffs on rare minerals. There's tariffs on agriculture. There's tariffs. So Trump's objective is to tax the world to make them pay their fair share, since we have been being robbed for decades by design. So now he's turned the tide, and where he wants to make it appear as if America, we need our fair share out of this deal because we're being robbed. It's okay, but once again, we depended upon the world to send them our debt, and they sent us real goods and services. So we're still sending them debt, and you expect to tax them on top of the debt you're sending them via the way the monetary structure is. So something's breaking. Clearly, gold and silver is telling us that something's happening. And you look at the fiscal side of things, the Doge is exposing corruption and fraud, but no one's going to jail. There's no prosecution. So once again, it's noise. Until there's prosecutions, until people are brought up and put on death penalty tribunals or tried for treason for something, this is all noise. So I say follow where the money flows. And right now, Trump yesterday called on Jerome Powell again to cut rates. Why would you cut rates unless you're in a crisis? So clearly, but the mainstream media have us diverted, have us distracted. Okay, so I'm rambling a little bit, but let me get into this. Okay, so rtdnews.com, rtd.news. Type it in and take you right here. So let me just share with you some things that's worth talking about. There's some headlines today. I'm going to start off with this headline here in particular. So as you can see here, there's lots of articles here. We got Moody says U.S. fiscal strength on course for continued decline. Gross domestic product is not really what people or what has been made out to be, because our government doesn't produce anything. So outside of tax receipts and debt issue that is supposed to return an investment for our government, we're still running a deficit, a major deficit. And that's the only way we can move forward, is that they continue to borrow to spend. But once again, you have to have someone willing to extend you credit in order for you to borrow. So at some point, the Federal Reserve got to step in. Hence the need for new alternatives, i.e. stable coins. If people can issue stable coins backed by the dollar, there's nothing stable about the dollar, but it's another way of helping to fund the government by them issuing debt, you creating fictitious synthetic currency on a ledger, and then buying that debt. You can continue to launder the debt and make it appear as if there's a need for the debt. So that's all in a nutshell. But real quick here, let's look at this. Moody's. So it's all about fiscal conditions, man. Our nation as a whole is tanking fast, and it's hard to hide it. So you need distractions. So what better way to distract the people other than to give them Just as whatever fits the narrative to appease whoever is looking for whatever. And so it says, Moody says, you okay? So let's look at this real quick. It says here, ratings agency. Let me move this video here. Ratings agency said on Tuesday that the U.S. fiscal strength is on track for a continued multi-year decline as budget deficits widen and debt becomes less affordable. Borrowing costs going to be a problem. Okay, let's just look real quick. I haven't looked in a minute. Let's see what the 10-year, which kind of sets the stage for our debt binge. But as of right now, we're at 4.3. Okay, let's look at where we're over the last 5 years. But you look at when Trump left office, when Trump left the White House, he had it good, boy, because we were only paying less than 1% on our debt. And now since then, look at that. They've been just borrowing rates to fight inflation, and rates are still nowhere near as high as they need to go to really tame inflation, but that'll stranglehold our borrowing costs. So don't expect this to go down anytime soon. It's only going to go up because, once again, who's going to be buying the debt? Yeah, won't be many buyers, because I know for sure I wouldn't want to invest in somebody I know who's not going to pay me back in anything that's worth my while. So mama didn't raise no fool. But anyway, back to the subject matter. So this is one of the reasons why they're fast tracking the stablecoin narrative, because they need borrowers. It says here, the report comes amid heightened uncertainty in the U.S. financial markets as Donald Trump's decision to impose punitive tariffs on key trading partners has sparked investors' fears of higher price pressures and a sharp economic slowdown. And so can you say we're already in a recession? It's not official. It was a recession under Biden for sure. They redefined it, changed the definitions, kicked the can further, and they passed it on to Trump. So now he has to come out swinging, talking about, I'm going to tax you, everything, tariffs on you, tariffs on this, tariffs on that. Once again, put yourself in the shoes of your former creditor. We used to lend to you willingly, but now you're going to tax me excessively, and you need me more than I need you. Okay, yeah, I think I might look for some alternatives. I think I might continue to use my own currency in bipartisanship trades with my allies on this side, and we'll let you guys deal with your debt mess. Hence the idea of the aggression. Trump will then become aggressive beyond the tariffs when it backfires, because he's going to now talk about, unfortunately, the people in his ear will probably hit that war drum, because the leak from the Signal text messaging showing that we're in Yemen fighting the Houthis on behalf of the Israelis. For what reason? So once again, he ran on pointless wars, but he's okay with funding one and arguing another. Just, hey man, don't trust these people. I'm telling you, they're all paid actors. Okay, it says, even in a very positive and low probability economic and financial scenario, debt affordability remains materially weaker than for other AAA rated and highly rated sovereigns. So others got it bad. We ain't all that much better. It said it projects the debt to gross domestic product, a key ratio in assessing a country's finances, will rise to around 130% by 2035 from nearly 100% in 2025. So once again, if you are a household, your income to debt ratio, for the most part, is above 100%. That means that you are well beyond maxed out of your credit cards. You have no real income to sustain yourself. So you have to now live on borrowing. And so they're saying by 2035, the U.S. is going to be at 130%. We're already above 100% now. So these numbers are already tainted. And so according to mainstream sources, they're saying that we're at 100% as of now, which means that we have no more room to really do much other than to point the finger, point the blame, and go try to tax others to basically just, it's like the mafia. Like, you're going to extort other people at your own expense because you have no options. That's what it feels like, or it looks like, in a sense. So it's interesting. Okay, so fiscal situation isn't good. Monetary situation isn't good. Gold and silver is telling us that something has broken. Something has broken. Like right now, gold is continuing to climb. Silver looks like it's not slowing down right now. So let me refresh this page here, because yeah, it's going to be hard for them to get all what they want when you look around me right here. This is a problem, people. And the higher gold and silver goes, the more it tells us that the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, is failing. Now, let me, so for those who may not know, you might say, oh, this guy just talking all types of trash. Okay, let's look at it on the graphs. So if you have, let me update my system here. So if you have, this is what it looks like. So let me make myself smaller. This is what the price action I'm referring to looks like right now. So literally over the last, let me get myself out of here. I hate when it does this. I don't know why that pops up. So over the last year, this is where we're at now. When you measure gold against the dollar, this is where we're at. Gold is up 40% over the last year. Since Trump been in office, give or take, it's up almost 5%. So therefore, if gold value, when priced in dollars, if gold is a standard, you measure everything by the paper, is going up and up. Now you take that same paper, you measure it in gold over the last year, it is down 28.73%, meaning the paper is failing while gold is succeeding, depending on how you look at it. And because this channel is called Rethinking the Dollar, as I always mention, for those who might be new, not all dollars are created equal. If you look at the history of our money, there's been, I think at the beginning of the Federal Reserve structure, there was a total of 8, if I'm not mistaken, different types of mediums known as dollars. And now we only have 2, 3, 4: digital, the paper, Federal Reserve notes, gold, silver. Then you got bonds that are derivatives of dollars. Now you got stable coins, which are synthetic dollars, and whatever else. The stable coins is the last option that our government has to try and keep this thing alive. Now, so let's get into what I'm talking about there. So let me go. This is what you guys come for, I assume. Why the sudden push on stablecoin there? So here, these are all articles here. I encourage you to go check them out if you're interested. But I want to focus on what I didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday. And so this is picking up. Wyoming government expects state to issue its own stablecoin by July. Think about that. So this is where things are heading. Why is there such a push for stablecoins? It's clear they need as many options to extend the lifeline of the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, and synthetic dollars are a great way to drive artificial demand for dollars and help fund the government, because the government will definitely need some buyers. So let's talk about this a little bit. So this came out yesterday. Didn't get a chance to get to it, but I'll go through it real quick. Got lots of articles I want to touch. And as always, for those who are plugged in, man, apologize for the hiccups. Definitely hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. And I appreciate you guys, man. But okay, real quick here. Let's just get into it. Wyoming plans to launch its own cryptocurrency as soon as July, making it the first fiat-backed and fully reserved stable token issued by a U.S. entity. Okay, so let's back this out. First fiat-backed, the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, is not stable whatsoever to back anything to reinstate confidence. But here we have our elected officials acting on the best interests of whoever they're working for, not the people, as a way of helping to prolong, I guess, the dollar hegemony. Who knows? But it says here a fully reserved stable token. What is stable about something that is on its way out? Let me just, for those, oh, what are you talking about? Here we have a glimpse of what we're talking about is stable. This is the Federal Reserve note. Since 1913, when it was worth over a flat out dollar, it has gone through all types of trials, tribulations, and everything else. And here we are today. It is 31.3, and it's losing 0.2% of its purchasing power, is what we're being told, every single year, minus any hiccups, unforeseen events, recessions, depressions, whatever. And so this is the stable that they're talking about when they're talking about stable coins backed by the dollar. This is the Federal Reserve note. So there is no stability in something that is debased deliberately. So I understand what they're doing. So that's why I tell you all this, so that you know that we know that they're full of hot air. And for those who are tuned in right now, hit that thumbs up button right now. Take a minute, hit the thumbs up button, let the algos know that you feeling what I'm saying. Okay. So back to what I'm talking about. Wyoming. by July. Why July? Why not let it go through the legislative process? Why not let the people vote on it? Let the people, share their 2 cents on it. Why? Oh, because let me bring this on screen here. Because they don't have time. They don't have time to go through anything else. And they say it by July. Like that is May, June. That's 3 months from now. They're talking about having a stable coin ready to be issued within the state for who? For what? Come on now. And so that's Wyoming. I'm not even going to waste my time with that one. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. So Wyoming is the first state. And it doesn't help. Let me go back. What am I doing? Give me a second here. Okay. So North Carolina, let me see here. Okay. Let me get myself together here. Go back down. Wyoming. Now it says Fidelity prepares. Fidelity tests stablecoin amid improved regulatory clarity. So now we got a financial product and a company using their own stablecoin backed by the Federal Reserve note system. So once again, a state, we have a investment firm, we got the crypto community Tether. Now, for those who may not have been paying attention, Tether has all. This is a side note. Wasn't planning on going here, but just because this is all fresh, you may or may know about it. Tether is asking for an audit, literally. So I says, let me find this. So literally, I saw the other day that Tether is actually looking for an audit themselves. Like the primary issuer of the stablecoin concept is now out here talking about they're ready for an audit. They've been used as a money laundering by a variety of proxies, including governments, in my opinion. The Federal Reserve have definitely been able to benefit from this. And here we are now in a world where stablecoins are the primary topics, because in the US, they're not wanting CBDCs, but they're going to allow stablecoins, a synthetic version of dollars that are nowhere near stable and are designed to literally prop up and prolong the lifeline of a dying currency. So it says Tether in talks with Big Four accounting firm for first full audit following criticism. So it took almost 10 years. They've been in business for over 10 years, and now all of a sudden they're wanting to be audited. Tether's USDT is claimed to be backed by 1-to-1 by reserves, but critics have raised concerns about the company's failure to provide sufficient proof of this backing. Anybody who's been following this for any length of time, you know that they have not been fully backed, and that part of their backing has been government bonds, which no one can verify that. They got in trouble 4 or 5 years ago. Regulators did a little investigative work. They squashed it. I imagine they came to some type of agreement, like you can continue to do what you do, but yet you got to make sure we are in tune with this, and it has to be funneled to where we want it to go so we can accomplish what we need to accomplish. Mind you, all that insider corruption that Doge is exposing now. It's good to say they were using stable coins and crypto as well. Okay, so that's a little nugget there on the side. Okay, but I say all this because here we got Fidelity. Fidelity is now creating their own stable coin, so don't be surprised. There's going to be a lot more issuances of stable coins because that is what is needed, synthetic currency. So it says one of the largest financial firms in the United States is reportedly testing a stable coin reflecting a broader push toward institutional adoption of blockchain technology. Okay, it says, amid a growing trend of traditional financial institutions testing or launching stablecoins, several major players are making significant movements. For instance, Custodian Bank recently unveiled America's first ever backed issue stablecoin, marking a notable moment in the industry. And it don't help when the current administration's party, World Liberty Financial, launches USD1, a stablecoin aiming to operate on Ethereum and BNB chain. And so when you got the president's sons who runs the World Liberty Financial, click on this article here, Trump's World Liberty Financial to launch stablecoin USD1 amid crypto ambitions. So once again, states, publicly traded companies, private, somewhat compromised. You got a president using his name, image, and likeness for with his sons and their partners to create stable coins, that there is a demand by somebody for something to make sure that this stable coin is continued to be used for the sake of prolonging the current monetary structure because it's failing. And it doesn't stop there, people. Let me just give you some more. Let me go back here. Once again, like, this is something that I think is worth paying attention to, people, because this is called the reset. Okay. And so here I typed in the desperate fight to keep the dollar king using stable coins. Here's 5 reasons why the stable coin narrative must continue to go on. And so I just simply asked a question utilizing large language models, and this is what I was given. Let me move it out the way here. So when it compiles all the data, this is what came out of it. Let me bring this on the screen here so you can see what I see. So this is what came out of a simple question, not somewhat simple, but simple enough. And so here are the recent announcement here. So I said, give me 5 reasons the U.S. appears to be so desperate to extend the hegemonic role of the dollar using stablecoins. And it said here, this is the answers I got. 1, maintaining global financial influence. By leveraging stablecoins, the U.S. aims to preserve the dollar status as the world's reserve currency, ensuring continual financial influence in global markets. 2, countering de-dollarization efforts. Some nations are reducing the U.S. debt holdings, but their citizens are increasingly purchasing dollar-pegged stablecoins, allowing the U.S. to maintain dollar dominance despite attempts to move away from it. See what I'm saying? So if people in Bangladesh trust the dollar more than their own currency, the only thing they can get a hold of relatively easier are dollar-based stablecoins. USDT, they'll probably be able to get USD1, which is Trump's coin. They'll be able to get any type of stable coin, and that's their form of having dollars, so they can do transactions with. So by issuing more stable coins, they're able to actually get dollars into hands of people directly without having to go through the regulatory processes within these governments. So they can literally backdoor governments, forcing people to acknowledge and recognize the dollar a little bit longer. Third one, adapting to digital finance. Stablecoins provide a way for the U.S. to cement the dollar's supremacy in digital age, countering threats from alternative systems like China's digital yuan. Next one, boosting demand for U.S. treasuries. Stablecoins backed by U.S. Treasury bills could create trillions of dollars in demand for U.S. debt instruments, potentially lowering long-term interest rates. Voila. Up to now, we got 4 reasons why stablecoins must be pushed and promoted and executed. And there's no regulatory framework on stablecoins. There's no legal authorized use of a stablecoin and a dollar being used together. So the fact that a state is trying to do it, I can see the fintech sector wanting to do it. I can't understand why Trump is allowed to participate with his name, image, and likeness in the crypto space, because it benefits his kids first. But then again, who am I? But it helps Uncle Sam a little bit longer. And last, extending financial reaction. Stablecoins offer a novel mechanism for accessing U.S. dollars without traditional banking, allowing the U.S. to maintain financial influence even in countries with strict capital controls or limits access to U.S. banking system. So literally, it helps the debanked, those in other countries that don't have U.S. banking access. You can get capital faster by using stablecoins. You can put up some type of collateral on the ledger, on the blockchain, using a DEX, and then be able to be issued a loan in stablecoins in real time. If you're in a small village in Tanzania or something like that, you can get liquidity. So this is the part of the reason why they're fast tracking. Those are 5 reasons why, plus some, I'm sure. But ultimately, this is how a reset occurs. Because our current currency is worth less, they are now creating ways to extend its lifeline, hoping to buy them time. And now we got to wait and see. But it's hard to be bought extra time when gold and silver is telling us that something is happening right now. And once again, when all comes crashing down, hopefully you're not holding on to worthless IOU nothings. You're hopefully in the presence of sound, true, tried, and tested monetary mediums that carry their weight, literally. But anyway, people, this is all I had. Sorry for the hiccups. If you've enjoyed this, hit that thumbs up button right now. Take a minute, hit that thumbs up button. Take this video, because just the way I position this, not many people see it from this standpoint. and it gives them something to think about. So take this, share it on your socials so people can get an alternative viewpoint as to what's happening, and hopefully be better positioned to weather the monetary storm as it unfolds. So other than that, people, be blessed, be safe. Shalom.